Dr. J. Udani has joined me right now. First of all, before we get started, Dr. J. Udani's reputation precedes him. Dr. J. Udani is the CEO of Medicus Research, which in essence is the gold standard of all natural health research pretty well on the planet. I don't think there's any higher facility. Is there, Jay?
No, thank you for having me today. Medicus Research is the leading contract research organization for natural health products. We have been designing and running human clinical studies for more than 15 years, having run more than 250 studies in this space. We are the leading CRO, the leading go-to place for validating claims for human clinical trials.
Tell me about the products of Allysian, Dr. Udani.
So the Allysian products are a neurotropic, which means that it affects the cognitive function, and it affects many aspects of cognitive function. One of the first things that we were asked to do is to help validate the ingredient profile and the specific levels of the ingredients that were found in these products. And we made sure, and in fact it was the case, that the ingredients that were chosen do have evidence in and of themselves that they affect cognition in a positive way. They affect memory, which can include both short-term and long-term, as well as working memory. They affect attention, executive function, and mood, all in a very positive way. And based on the ingredients alone, there should be enough in the product to substantiate all of those activities.
Is this an area of medicine, specifically in terms of supplements, that we've overlooked in the past, brain health?
Brain health is growing in terms of interest, and part of it has to do with the changing of the population. You know, as the population moves through their life, they are interested in having the same level of cognitive function and possibly even more as we mature, rather than having less. People don't want to tolerate that. People at the younger age spectrum as well are looking for higher and higher performance. Cognitive function and coming to neurotropic dietary supplements is relatively new compared to other areas such as sports nutrition and metabolic, which have been done for many, many years.
Dr. Udani, talk to us a little bit about the human clinical trials going on.
We are currently running a gold standard human clinical trial on the Allysian core product. It is a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled human clinical study, which is taking healthy individuals and having them take the product for 30 days and document on a daily basis using proprietary patented mobile application technologies their cognitive function. In addition to daily video recording of them actually taking their pills, so we know that they took their pills, and answering questions and playing small games to document their level of cognitive function, we are the first on the planet to do proctored remote cognitive function tests. These are the same tests that are used by pharmaceutical companies to approve drugs for things like Alzheimer's and other dementias. But we're using them in a healthy population, and we have teams of medical personnel who are remotely logging into our patients' computers and going through these test systems with them on a regular basis. This is unheard of and very astonishing because it allows us to validate the type of cognitive function improvements that they are seeing, whether they are in memory, whether they're in attention, reaction time, executive function, at the same level as a pharmaceutical drug trial. Dietary supplements such as the Allysian neurotropic product are used to enhance your body's own capabilities. Everybody has a set of capabilities. Everyone's born with a set of genetic and environmental factors that give you a potential. This is your potential, and it's a bell-shaped curve. If you have this potential, if you take good care of your body, and your brain in particular, you can move yourself along the curve to the higher percentage performance. If you do the opposite, take products that impede brain health and that sort of thing, you'll actually find yourself moving to the left of the curve. So the purpose of using supplements for your cognitive function is to, of course, preserve the function that you have, but more importantly, to optimize the functioning of your body, to give yourself the best possible aspects of performance by supporting the natural state of your brain, by giving it all the nutrients that it needs, by pushing it a little bit, and even by taking these tests that we've talked about the computerized cognitive function tests, or the mobile applications that we're using inside the clinical trials and outside of clinical trials, all serve to improve your brain health, improve your brain function, improve your cognition over time if done consistently. And that's the goal, is that you should be looking to improve yourself on an ongoing basis.
Dr. Udani, you're presenting Allysian at Scripps. Is that correct?
Yes, the Scripps Natural Products Conference occurs on an annual basis. This is a major academic conference. The conference has several hundred physicians from all over the country who are attending and who are getting education on certain sessions related to topics like cognitive function and other therapeutic areas that are affected by natural products. We have submitted a scientific abstract based on the human clinical trial that is currently wrapping up. And that abstract went through a peer review process of scientists and doctors to be accepted for presentation at the conference. We will be presenting the results at the conference, and we will share them with you at that time.
That's fairly significant. It's not every company that can walk off the street and be accepted to present at Scripps.
It's quite difficult. Companies that run human clinical trials are few and far between to begin with in this space. And to have one that is gold standard, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled, human study of a large enough sample size to be statistically significant is even rarer.
Dr. Udani, for us lay people and me, what is cognitive function? What does that mean?
Cognitive function is a set of different skills and performance capabilities that we do every day that we don't even think about. The most obvious one is memory. You know, people talk about memory. Well, what does that mean? There are many different types of memory. There is, of course, the short-term memory. Where did I put my keys? Where did I put my phone? There's the long-term memory. Where did I go to school? Where did I grow up? And there's working memory, which is, for example, when you're trying to do a math problem in your head. You have to hold certain things in your head and move them around and do all of this. And there is a use it or lose it type of aspect to it. So a lot of times when people are in school or in doing demanding work that keeps them thinking about these things, they will retain their skills. If, however, you don't actively use those types of memory, you can start to lose them. The other thing that happens is our diet and our activity level, or lack thereof, plays a role in having certain bodily functions and capabilities that can also reduce our memory capabilities, because you're filling your bloodstream with crud that is also not just going through the heart and other things that we think about, but it goes through your brain as well. So what do we want to do? We want to protect the brain by reducing intake of certain things, high fats, high sugars, things like that. But in our day-to-day lives, we are coming in contact with these things. So we're also going to want to use certain supplements which can have been shown in independent clinical trials on those ingredients to also protect the brain, to help improve memory, to improve the neurotransmission of the synapses, to have all of these aspects to improve microcirculation within the brain, to provide healthy fats for the brain, all these things that are known to improve overall function. So that's memory, but it also applies to something called executive function, which is how well are you making decisions? If you're faced with three decisions or decision with three choices, are you making the right one? Are you making it quickly? Are you making it consistently? What about your reaction time? How quickly can you respond to something? Video games is an obvious test of this sort of thing, but day-to-day driving, okay, how fast do you respond to certain stimuli in the environment? We also look at other areas which have to do with your ability for cognition and mood. Mood is a function of brain function as well. And mood affects your cognitive abilities, because, as I'm sure you can imagine, when you're in a bad mood or a down mood, you're not thinking as clearly as you are when you're in an up mood. So what are we looking for in terms of a overall health picture? It is maintaining your brain the same way you maintain your body, through your basics of diet and exercise and environmental exposures, but then you want to help support the brain further through the provision of certain nutrients and certain herbs and certain products which are known to perhaps even enhance the capabilities of your current brain function. We have done several things as it relates to the Allysian product. On one hand, we have done a claim substantiation review. We did a very thorough review. We have a team of MDs and PhDs and Masters of Biology and all these scientists who have gone through and evaluated every piece of published literature that is found from animals to preclinical to human data on these ingredients and pulled that together to give a grade of evidence behind how well substantiated is this ingredient for brain health claims. And we found that most of the ingredients that are included here have very substantial evidence behind them. And what's really important is that the product, the Allysian product, has been formulated in a way that the dose levels of those ingredients are high enough to be effective based on the literature that we found. That's a very important aspect, because a lot of products on the market will put what I call fairy dust levels of certain ingredients and make the claims that they are able to substantiate, but it's not the case. In this particular instance, the formula was made and slightly modified to make sure that it did meet the criteria, and that was very important. As it relates to the human clinical study that's currently ongoing with the product, we are using advanced patented technologies that are unique to Medicus research. They have been developed by us to run virtual remote studies to be able to capture data from people all over the country. So we have people of all walks of life from all regions of the country, and then you can generalize the results to say, when we have the results from this study, it's not just people living in the 10-mile radius of our clinic, but people all over the country who are going to represent the same type of people who are going to take your product in the real world. And that was the goal, to give a real world scenario. We're testing people every day on their mobile phones, how they're feeling, how they're doing. We're testing them at certain intervals using proctored remote clinical trial visits where our medical teams log into their computer with them sitting in front of the computer and take them through a pharmaceutical grade cognitive function test.
Dr. Jay Udani, my guest today. Brilliant. I wish I'd said that. I want to bottle that and send that all over the planet. That's amazing. Dr. Jay Udani, of course, is the CEO of the renowned Medicus Research, pretty well the world's gold standard when it comes to researching and reporting on natural health products. What a pleasure and an honor, Dr. Udani, to have your time today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.